Hey guys, welcome back to my channel where I share with you some tips and insights on how to improve your relationship. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about one of the most important skills that you need to keep a healthy and happy relationship, and that is effective communication. Communication, as you see, it is the key to any successful relationship, be it a business relationship, a platonic one, or even a romantic one. Communication is how you convey your feelings, how you express your desire, your needs to your partner. It is how you tell them your expectations of them and how you listen and understand theirs also. Communication is how you resolve conflicts when they arise, how you negotiate, make compromises, and how you make decisions together. It is also how you show love, respect, and appreciation to your partner. But if we are telling the truth, if we are saying the truth here, you would agree with me that communication is not always easy. You don't exactly always know what to say, how to say it, or even when to say it. Sometimes we even say things that we don't mean. Sometimes we say things that hurt the feelings of our partners. Sometimes we don't even listen well enough. Other times we even misunderstand what our partner is trying to tell us. So to avoid all these hassles, we avoid communication altogether. Also, we don't get faced with confrontation, sometimes rejection, and even criticism. But that's not the way to go about it. The truth is, most times, effective communication is not inborn. It's not ingrained in most of us. So it's a skill that needs to be learned and practiced. It involves more than just talking. It is more about listening. It also involves your body language, your tone, how you react, all these things, being assertive, empathetic, and all sorts. Effective communication comprises of all these factors. It also involves being honest, being open-minded, being attentive. You're not just listening now, you're retentive of what you're hearing from the other partner. It is being respectful, I've said that before, and it's also being curious and being supportive most times. That is why you must learn this effective communication as if your life depends on it. So if you are someone like me, you would ask, okay then, how can I learn this effective communication as a skill? How can I put it to good use? Well, if you find yourself asking that question right now, you're in luck, because I'm about to share with you some tips that I found useful in my own experience. Number one is this: be clear about what you want to communicate. Has it ever happened to you that maybe you've always had this thing you want to discuss with your partner, like as a matter of urgency, and all of a sudden you all have sat down, you're about to discuss it, and you just totally forget what you set out to discuss in the first place? It happens a lot of the time. So before you even discuss that matter, ask yourself very important questions like, what is the purpose of this conversation? What do I want to gain from this conversation? What would I like to achieve? How do I feel about this topic? Will this upset my partner if I ask it this way? Or should I rather ask it in another way? Like I've said before, you mind your tone, Does this need to be discussed in a raised voice? Does this need to be discussed in a calm manner? All those things. What do I want my partner to know in particular? You ask yourself all these questions before you actually set out to start that conversation. That's the number one tip. Number two is that you choose the right time and place. Timing and the place of conversation can be very, very important, just as the communication is important in its own place. What do I mean? You can imagine a situation where you have an issue to grind with your partner and you don't think it necessary to discuss it at home, but when you are now out with maybe family members or relatives or colleagues or something like that, then you feel that's the right time to ask, the purpose of that conversation will be lost on both of you, because she feels insulted, she feels betrayed that you'll be discussing something so private in the presence of everybody. Now that's one aspect of it. Another thing is that you don't discuss sensitive issues in crowded areas, maybe like a park or you're in a garage, when she's either busy or distracted, so timing and the place of conversation is just as important as the communication in its place. Do you understand what I mean? Number 3 is use I statements instead of you. This is like a hack. This is a trick. It works wonders, trust me. Instead of using you, sort of like you're apportioning blames, you use I. I'll give you an example. Okay, let me ask you a quick question. Which of these statements do you think will resonate more with your partner? Which of these statements do you think would appeal more to the conscience of your partner? First statement: you never remember my birthday. Statement B: I would appreciate it if you remember my birthday this year. Do you see the difference? Do you understand what I mean? What about this? Statement A: you never listen to me. Statement B: I feel hurt when you don't listen to me. Which do you think will appeal to that your partner's conscience more? It's just as simple as that. This is a trick. It works all the time. Just try to change your you statements to I statements, especially when you're talking to your partner. If I'm to explain the magic that these statements do, what this kind of statement does is that it helps your partner to understand your perspective better. It helps them to understand the emotions behind that conversation. Do you understand what I mean? And it also helps them feel that way without being the evil one there, without being blamed, without feeling blamed. Do you understand me? So learn to use I statements instead of you statements. That's the third one. The fourth tip is listen actively and empathetically. In effective communication, listening is just as important as talking. Now, listening involves you understanding their body language. You're not only hearing what your partner is saying at that point, you're also paying attention to their tone. You know how the conversation started. You know when they're getting a little bit worked up. You're also reading our body language along with the conversation, the way it's progressing. You're saying that if this goes any further, it will be a problem. Do I need to come in here? You ask, calmly, babe, hold on. Can we take a break? Can we chill? All those things. You don't want it to degrade. You don't want that conversation to go down a certain kind of direction. You know how to come in, and you don't just barge in. You don't interrupt while she's talking, while she's conveying her feelings, or why he is conveying. Sorry about that. I always forget this channel is not mainly about guys anymore. I'm trying to help everybody here. Let's help ourselves. So yeah, listening actively. Active listening involves all this. You're trying to put yourself in their shoes. You're trying to really understand their perspective. You're trying to see things from their lens. Let it not always be about you. Acknowledge their own feelings too and validate their experiences. That's how to actively listen to your partner. All this helps in effective communication. Now on to number 5. Number 5 tip is give feedback and ask questions. Feedbacks are very important in the sense that it helps your partner feel like they have actually communicated. You've actually been listening and you got something. You understand? When you ask questions, I was once a teacher, so I know it feels good when I try to pass across a message and yeah, it's better for you to ask me questions. I know that I've not really passed across the message that I really wanted to pass. It gives me a sense of, listening. It makes me feel like you actually are open to learning, you just have not got it yet, which is a better feeling than you just standing there and just, okay, you're done, okay, can I go now? Make it washes down the whole effort, like you have just wasted your time. So when you ask questions, you're telling your partner that, okay, I got this part, I didn't get the other part. What can I do? How can I make adjustments? How can I do this? How can I do that? That is all about asking questions. About feedback, you're letting your partner know that you have heard and understood what they have actually been saying. That's feedback. Okay, throughout the length of this conversation, you said this, which I admit, okay, I do that truly, and yeah, I will make adjustments on that. You said this one, I don't know if that would work. What do you think? Giving that kind of feedback, your partner feels impressed. He or she knows they haven't wasted their time, obviously, and you guys are going to work on this. That is how to create grounds for further effective communications. And this relationship thing is something that goes on. So whatever you do now is like a foundation for what is to come. When you have successful communications, you're just preparing the ground for further successful communications. If your communication breaks down now, you're probably going to keep having it worse until you find the common ground, until you find a place where you all can relax, chill, and try to understand each other. And understanding only comes from effective communication. So these are some of the tips I've learned in my own experience, and I've tried to apply it to my relationship, and it works just fine. It has, in one way or the other, it has improved my communication skills even beyond my relationship, beyond my church, beyond my professional space. It has just improved my communication skill generally. Yeah, and there's a way it helps to improve the connection you have with your partner too, or whoever it is you have a relationship, whatever that relationship is. So effective communication is very key. Like I started, effective communication is very key to having a successful relationship. Now we have come to the end of this video. If you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up. You can like, share. You can also comment in the comment section, and please don't forget to subscribe to my channel to get more videos like this. Thank you. Catch you next time. Bye.